What if confidence was not a fleeting feeling you hoped for, but a fortress you built, brick by daily, deliberate brick? What if it was not a personality trait you were born with, but the natural and inevitable result of a disciplined daily practice? Today, we reveal the 10 foundational habits of the Stoic warrior, the daily routine that forges an unshakable core of self-trust and inner peace. 10 daily Stoic habits for unshakable confidence. Stoicism, compiled and published by Stoic Power. Lesson 1. Morning Mindset Reset Ritual. Imagine a master ship's captain preparing for a long and unpredictable voyage across the ocean. Before he even thinks about leaving the safety of the harbor, he engages in a crucial, unchangeable ritual. He lays out his charts, he checks his compass, he reviews his intended course, and he assesses the readiness of his crew and his vessel. He does this to ensure that he begins the journey with clarity, purpose, and intention, rather than just drifting out to sea at the mercy of the first wind that blows. The inner conflict for most of us is that we begin the demanding voyage of each new day without any such ritual. The painful problem is that we wake up and immediately surrender our minds to the chaotic currents of the outside world. The first thing we touch is our phone, and we are instantly inundated with a tidal wave of other people's emergencies, opinions, anxieties, and demands from emails, news headlines, and social media feeds. We begin our day in a state of pure reactivity. The world sets our mental and emotional compass for us before we have even had a chance to set it for ourselves. This leaves us feeling scattered, anxious, and on the defensive from the very first moment of consciousness, a state from which it is almost impossible to build a foundation of calm, unshakable confidence. The transformative solution is to reclaim the first few moments of your day as sacred ground. It is the Stoic practice of creating a deliberate morning ritual designed to set your own mental compass before the voyage begins. The core idea is that the first actions of your day have a disproportionate impact on the trajectory of your entire day. The Stoics understood the power of setting a clear intention. By starting your day with a moment of quiet reflection, you are making a powerful statement. I am the captain of this ship. I will set my own course today, based on my own values, not on the random winds of the world. This proactive stance is the very foundation of self-mastery and confidence. The benefit is that you begin your day from a position of centered, quiet strength. You feel in control of yourself, even though you cannot control the day's events. This creates a resilient buffer of peace and purpose that can help you navigate the inevitable storms and challenges of the day with greater composure and wisdom. The actionable step to implement this is to create what we will call the Stoic sunrise ritual. This is a simple 5-minute practice to be done immediately upon waking, before you touch any electronic devices. The rule is simple: the world does not get your attention until you have first given it to yourself. For these 5 minutes, you can simply sit in silence, focusing on your breath. Or you can engage in a short reflection, asking yourself questions like, what is the most important thing for me to focus on today? What virtues, patience, courage, discipline, will I be called upon to practice? What is my primary intention for the hours ahead? This simple, quiet ritual is the act of the captain checking his charts. It is a profound act of self-respect that will fundamentally change the texture of your days. You will move from being a reactive sailor tossed by the waves to a purposeful captain navigating them. I urge you to commit to a 5-minute Stoic sunrise for 1 week. Reclaim the rudder of your day before you leave the harbor. This ritual sets our intention, but what happens when our intention meets the harsh, unchangeable facts of life? Our next lesson is on the Stoic habit of accepting life's harsh truths. Before we continue, please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to commit to becoming the captain of your own life. Lesson 2. Accept life's harsh truths. Imagine a wise, experienced farmer who has worked the land for 50 years. He does not expect perfect weather every day. He knows with a deep and grounded certainty that there will be unpredictable droughts, devastating floods, and unseasonable frosts. He does not waste his energy complaining about this reality or wishing it were different. Instead, he accepts the harsh truths of nature as part of the system. This acceptance allows him to prepare for them wisely. He builds irrigation for the drought, he plants on high ground to avoid the flood, and he has coverings ready for the frost. His confidence does not come from a naive hope for perfect weather, but from a deep trust in his ability to endure and adapt to any weather. The inner conflict we face is that we are often the foolish novice farmer. We secretly base our confidence on the fragile hope that life will be easy, fair, and predictable. The painful problem with this mindset is that it makes our confidence incredibly brittle. When life inevitably presents us with its harsh realities, people acting unjustly, fortune turning against us, unexpected tragedies occurring, our entire worldview can shatter. We feel shocked, betrayed, and victimized by reality itself. We waste immense amounts of mental and emotional energy complaining about how things should be instead of dealing with things as they are. A confidence built on the expectation of a perfect world is a house of cards, ready to be blown over by the first gust of wind. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of the wise farmer. It is the daily Stoic habit of calmly and rationally acknowledging the difficult and often harsh truths of the human condition. Not to become cynical, but to become resilient, prepared, and truly confident. The core Stoic idea is that tranquility and strength begin with a clear-eyed acceptance of reality. The Stoics were radical realists. They practiced reflecting on harsh truths, such as the fact that we will one day die, memento mori, that other people will often act without virtue, and that most things are outside of our direct control. They did this not to be morbid, but to extinguish the power of shock and surprise. A man who is surprised by the existence of injustice is a man who has not been paying attention. The benefit of this practice is that it builds a rock-solid, weatherproof confidence. You are no longer shaken by life's difficulties because you have already accepted them as part of the contract of being alive. This frees you from the exhausting burden of complaining and wishing and allows you to focus your energy on skillful and virtuous action. The actionable step is to incorporate a truth acknowledgement into your morning ritual. After your period of silent reflection, state one or two of life's harsh truths that you will accept today. For example, you might say to yourself, "Today, some people I encounter will be rude, selfish, or irrational, and this is outside my control. I will not be surprised by this." Or, "Today, unexpected challenges will arise that disrupt my plans. I accept this as a part of life." Or, "My time is finite. I will strive to use this day well." This practice is like the farmer checking the long-range weather forecast. It prepares you. By acknowledging the possibility of storms, you are far less likely to be capsized when one finally arrives. I challenge you this week to add one truth acknowledgement to your morning routine. Build your confidence on the bedrock of reality, not the shifting sands of hope. Accepting harsh truths is a mental preparation. But how do we prepare our spirit and our will? Our next lesson is on the essential habit of practicing voluntary discomfort. If you're ready to face reality without flinching, please like this video. Lesson 3. Practice voluntary discomfort daily. Imagine a warrior in a time of peace. A foolish warrior would spend his days indulging in comfort, luxury, and ease. His muscles would grow soft, his fighting skills would dull, and his spirit would become accustomed to a life without hardship. When war inevitably breaks out, he is unprepared, terrified, and quickly defeated. A wise warrior, however, uses times of peace for rigorous training. He deliberately spars with tough opponents, he endures long marches in bad weather, and he sleeps on hard ground. He intentionally introduces controlled doses of hardship into his life so that the reality of battle feels familiar, not shocking. The inner conflict we face is that we all want the resilience of the wise warrior, but our modern lives are in relentless pursuit of the foolish warrior's comfort. The painful problem is that our obsession with comfort has made our spirits incredibly soft and brittle. We live in climate-controlled homes, we have food delivered to our doors, and we seek to eliminate every possible source of friction or discomfort from our lives. This makes us terrified of any real hardship. We fear the cold, we fear hunger, We fear physical exertion, we fear difficulty of any kind. This is a major source of our anxiety and our lack of confidence. We secretly doubt our ability to handle real adversity because we are so unpracticed in enduring even the smallest discomfort. We have the desire to be strong, but we have chosen a lifestyle that guarantees weakness. The transformative solution is to embrace one of the most powerful and countercultural of all Stoic habits, the daily practice of small, voluntary discomforts. It is the art of becoming the wise warrior who trains in times of peace to prepare for the inevitability of war. The core Stoic idea, articulated powerfully by philosophers like Seneca and Cato, is that we build our confidence in our ability to handle the large, involuntary hardships of life by proving to ourselves, day after day, that we can handle small, voluntary ones. It is a form of psychological strength training. By deliberately choosing to do something hard, you are sending a powerful message to your mind. I am not a slave to my comfort. My will is stronger than my desire for ease. The benefit of this practice is that it systematically desensitizes you to fear and discomfort. You build what the Stoics called a callus on your mind. The small things that used to bother you no longer do, and you develop a deep, earned confidence in your own resilience. A confidence that comes not from positive thinking, but from the direct, physical evidence of your own toughness. The actionable step is to choose one small discomfort dose to incorporate into your daily routine. This should be something that is safe but challenging. The key is that it must be a conscious choice. Some classic Stoic examples include taking a cold shower for the last 30 to 60 seconds, sleeping on the floor for one night, fasting for a period of the day, intentionally wearing a less comfortable outfit, or going for a walk in the rain without an umbrella. A modern example is to put your phone in a drawer for an entire evening. The goal is not to punish yourself, but to train yourself. By willingly embracing a small chosen hardship, you are practicing for the day when a large unchosen hardship arrives. I urge you to choose one discomfort dose to practice for the next week. See it as your daily training session in the gym of resilience. Voluntary discomfort prepares us for real hardship, but we can also prepare our minds through the power of visualization. Our next lesson is on the Stoic habit of visualizing worst-case scenarios. Please comment below and share one small discomfort you are willing to practice. Lesson 4. Visualize worst-case scenarios. Imagine a highly competent fire chief who is responsible for the safety of a large city. She does not simply hope that a fire will never break out. Instead, she spends a great deal of her time running fire drills. She and her team will mentally walk through various disaster scenarios. A fire in a high-rise building, a chemical spill, a multi-car pileup. They will game out their responses, anticipate potential problems, and clarify their roles. They do this not because they are morbid or pessimistic, but because they know that this controlled, imaginative practice is the key to remaining calm, focused, and effective during a real, chaotic emergency. The inner conflict for many of us is that we are fire chiefs who refuse to run any drills. We are haunted by vague, shapeless anxieties about the future, but we refuse to look at them directly. The painful problem is that our fears, when left unexamined, tend to balloon into monstrous, catastrophic fantasies. A small concern about a project at work becomes a vivid daydream of being fired and becoming homeless. A slight worry about a relationship becomes a terrifying vision of dying alone. Because we never subject these fears to the light of rational thought, they maintain a powerful, paralyzing grip on our subconscious minds. This constant, low-grade dread is a major source of our lack of confidence. We are afraid of the future because we have allowed our imagination to paint it as an unending series of disasters that we are powerless to handle. The transformative solution is to adopt the Stoic habit of premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. This is the practice of becoming your own mental fire chief, running controlled, rational drills for life's potential disasters. The core Stoic idea is that by calmly and strategically visualizing a worst-case scenario, you can achieve two powerful benefits. First, you desensitize yourself to the fear of the event. It becomes more familiar and less terrifying when you have already faced it in your mind. Second, you can proactively plan and rehearse your virtuous response, which builds immense confidence in your ability to handle adversity. It is not about dwelling on the negative, it is about preparing for it so that it no longer has power over you. The benefit of this practice is a dramatic reduction in daily anxiety. You stop wasting energy trying to avoid thinking about what could go wrong, and you start building a quiet confidence that you can handle things, even if they do go wrong. The actionable step is to practice a 2-minute negative visualization each morning. After your period of reflection, choose one thing you are slightly anxious about for the day ahead. It could be a presentation, a difficult conversation, or a deadline. Then, for just a minute or two, calmly and without drama, imagine it going poorly. Imagine the presentation failing. Imagine the conversation going badly. Then, vividly visualize yourself responding to this failure with perfect Stoic virtue. With calm, with reason, with patience, and with courage. See yourself accepting the outcome and immediately focusing on the next right action. This is not about imagining yourself in despair. It is about imagining yourself being resilient. By doing this, you are rehearsing your own strength. You are preparing for both the event and your response. I challenge you to try this 2-minute drill on one of your anxieties this week. Run the fire drill. Build the confidence that comes from preparation. The key part of a virtuous response is emotional control. How do we build the habit of strengthening our self-control? Our next lesson delves into this vital practice. To support our channel, please consider sharing this video with someone who struggles with anxiety about the future. Lesson 5. Strengthen emotional self-control. Imagine again the skilled charioteer holding the reins of 2 powerful spirited horses named Fear and Desire. These horses are not evil. They are full of life and energy, but they are not rational. Fear wants to bolt at every shadow, and desire wants to chase every fleeting pleasure. The inner conflict for every person is the daily struggle to be the charioteer, not the one being dragged by the horses. The painful problem is that a lack of emotional self-control is a profound source of shame, regret, and lost confidence. When we are hijacked by our emotions, we make poor decisions. We say things we can't take back in anger. We avoid necessary challenges out of fear. We indulge in short-term pleasures that sabotage our long-term goals out of a lack of discipline. Every time we let the horses run wild, we damage our own self-respect. We prove to ourselves that we are not in command of our own being, which is a devastating blow to our confidence. We feel weak because we have acted weakly. The transformative solution is to see emotional self-control not as a form of self-punishment or suppression, but as the essential daily discipline that makes a life of freedom, purpose, and dignity possible. It is the art of holding the reins with a firm but gentle hand. The core Stoic idea is that our emotions are the product of our judgments, and our judgments are within our control. The horses react to how the charioteer interprets the road ahead. If the charioteer judges a shadow to be a monster, the horses will bolt. If he judges it to be just a shadow, they will remain calm. The practice of self-control is the practice of inserting a moment of reason between an impression and your judgment, giving you the power to guide your emotional state. The benefit is that you become the master of your own soul. You are no longer a slave to every passing mood or impulse. This creates a deep sense of integrity and personal power. A man who has control over himself is a man who can be trusted by others, and more importantly, by himself. This is a bedrock source of unshakable confidence. The actionable step to strengthen this muscle is to practice the daily pause. Your commitment for the day is to find at least one opportunity to deliberately create a space between an emotional stimulus and your response. This could be when you feel the urge to check your phone out of boredom. Pause, breathe, and choose not to. It could be when you feel the flash of anger in traffic. Pause, breathe, and choose to relax your grip on the steering wheel. It could be when you feel the desire for an unhealthy snack. Pause, breathe, and drink a glass of water instead. The goal of the daily pause is not to deny yourself, but to prove to yourself that you have a choice. It is a single repetition in the gym of self-control. By practicing this in small, low-stakes moments, you build the strength to use it in high-stakes moments. I urge you to consciously practice one daily pause today. Feel the power that resides in that small space between impulse and action. This self-control allows us to direct our energy. But where should we direct it? Our next lesson is on the Stoic habit of focusing only on what matters. If you are committed to taking the reins of your own mind, please like this video. Lesson 6. Focus only on what matters. Imagine you are the dedicated gardener of a beautiful but modest plot of land that is entirely your own. Your garden represents everything that is within your direct control: your thoughts, your actions, your character. Next to your garden is a vast, wild, and chaotic field that belongs to your neighbors, representing everything outside of your control: their opinions, their actions, the weather, the news. The inner conflict we face is where we choose to spend our limited time and energy. The painful problem is that most of us spend the majority of our day in our neighbor's yard. We are constantly worrying about what our neighbors think of our garden. We yell at the clouds in their sky. We try to pull the weeds in their field. We are so obsessed with what is happening outside our own fence that our own garden becomes neglected, overgrown with weeds of anxiety and frustration. Our confidence withers because we are trying to cultivate a garden that we do not own and can never truly control. We have abandoned our own sphere of influence. The transformative solution is the daily, disciplined habit of returning your focus to your own garden. It is the Stoic practice of ruthlessly filtering your attention through the dichotomy of control. The core idea is that true focus, power, and effectiveness in life come from applying 100% of your precious mental and emotional energy to your own garden, the small but sovereign domain of your own thoughts, actions, and character. A wise person does not waste a single drop of water on their neighbor's weeds. They understand that the only way to influence the world is to first create a perfect example of order and excellence within their own small plot. The benefit of this is an incredible surge in personal effectiveness and a dramatic decrease in stress. The feeling of being overwhelmed vanishes when you realize that your list of true responsibilities is actually much smaller than you thought. You gain immense clarity and power by focusing only on what you can actually change. The actionable step is to practice the control filter check throughout your day. When you find yourself feeling anxious, angry, or overwhelmed, pause and ask yourself this simple question: is the thing I am currently worried about inside my garden, or is it in my neighbor's field? Is it one of your thoughts or actions, or is it one of theirs? Is it the quality of your work, or the reaction of your boss to your work? If you find your attention is outside your own fence, your job is to gently but firmly bring it back. This is a continuous, moment-to-moment practice. It is the habit of asking, is this mine? I challenge you this week, every time you feel a negative emotion, to apply this filter. Discover how much of your turmoil comes from mentally trespassing in areas you do not control. Learn to tend to your own garden with singular focus. But even in our own garden, how do we maintain a sense of stillness when the world around us is a whirlwind of noise? Our next lesson is on maintaining inner stillness. Please comment below and share one weed from your neighbor's garden that you are willing to stop watering this week. Lesson 7. Maintain inner stillness. Always imagine again the deep ocean. Even when a great storm is churning the surface into a chaotic frenzy, the profound depths remain dark, silent, and perfectly still. This inner stillness is its unchanging nature. The inner conflict we face is that we identify with the chaotic surface, forgetting that the still, quiet depths are also a part of us, an inner sanctuary that is always available. The painful problem is that we allow the external noise and chaos of the world to become our internal state. Our minds are constantly churned by the endless demands of work, the drama of relationships, and the non-stop influx of information. We lose our connection to our own inner stillness, and this leads to a feeling of being constantly overwhelmed, stressed, and unable to think clearly. We crave peace, but we have forgotten what it feels like and where to find it. The transformative solution is the daily habit of creating small, deliberate moments of stillness, intentionally practicing the descent from the chaotic surface to the calm, quiet depths of your own being. The core idea is that your inner peace is your natural state. The chaos is the temporary weather passing over it. By frequently and intentionally reconnecting with this inner stillness, you are reminding yourself of your true nature. You are not the waves, you are the ocean. The benefit of this practice is that it builds a muscle of calm. The more you access this inner stillness, the easier it becomes to find it when you are under pressure. It lowers your baseline level of stress and anxiety and gives you a powerful tool for recentering yourself when life gets loud. The actionable step is to practice the moment of stillness. Set a random, quiet alarm on your phone for 3 different times during your day. When the alarm goes off, no matter what you are doing, you must stop everything for just 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Take 1 deep breath, and for the remainder of the minute, place all of your focus on the sensation of your breathing. Do not try to solve problems or think about your to-do list. Just for 60 seconds, your only job is to be still. This practice breaks the hypnotic spell of constant busyness and reactivity. It is a powerful reminder that you are in control of your own attention and your own inner state. I urge you to set these 3 daily appointments with stillness for 1 week. Discover the profound strength that lies in your own quiet center. This stillness allows us to see things clearly, but how do we ensure that what we see is the truth, uncolored by our own biases? Our next lesson is on cultivating an objective perspective. Please subscribe to the Stoic Power channel to continue this journey into inner peace. Lesson 8. Cultivate unbiased objective perspective. Imagine a wise judge sitting in a courtroom. She listens patiently as 2 passionate, emotional lawyers present their cases. One lawyer paints a picture of tragedy and injustice. The other paints a picture of righteous indignation. The judge listens to their stories, but she knows that her verdict cannot be based on these emotional narratives. Her job is to cut through the stories and look only at the cold, hard, objective facts of the case. The evidence, the timelines, the statutes. Her power and her wisdom come from her ability to separate the emotional story from the objective reality. The inner conflict we face is that we are both the emotional lawyer and the judge in the courtroom of our own minds, and we usually let the lawyer win. The painful problem is that we do not experience events as they are. We experience the emotional stories we tell ourselves about those events. We add layers of dramatic, subjective, and often catastrophic judgment to neutral facts, and this is what destroys our confidence and our peace. The event is, I received critical feedback on my work. The story is, I was harshly attacked, my boss hates me, and I'm a failure. We then make our decisions based on the wildly inaccurate emotional story, not on the simple, objective fact. The transformative solution is the daily Stoic habit of practicing what Marcus Aurelius called objective representation. It is the discipline of stripping away your own emotional judgments, opinions, and dramatic narratives from an event and seeing it for what it plainly is. It is the art of being the wise judge of your own perceptions. The core idea is that the world is governed by facts, but our lives are governed by our stories. By learning to control our stories, we gain control over our emotional lives. The Stoics were masters at this. They would describe events in the most literal, physical, and non-judgmental terms possible to rob them of their emotional power. The benefit of this is that it acts as a powerful de-escalation tool for your own anxiety and anger. When you can see a situation without the lens of your own fearful or angry stories, you can respond to it with far more clarity, wisdom, and effectiveness. The actionable step is the strip the judgment exercise. The next time you are feeling stressed or upset about a situation, take out your journal. On one side of the page, write down the emotional, dramatic story you are telling yourself about it. Then, on the other side, force yourself to describe the exact same situation using only the most boring, neutral, and objective language you can, as if you were a security camera recording the event. For example, the story, my partner is ignoring me and doesn't care about me anymore. The objective fact, I sent a text message 3 hours ago and have not yet received a reply. This practice will feel strange, but it is incredibly powerful. It exposes how much extra suffering you are creating with your own mind. I challenge you this week to apply this technique to one stressful event in your life. Be the judge, not the lawyer. Seeing things objectively helps us deal with reality. But what about accepting the parts of reality we cannot change? Our next lesson is on embracing fate without complaint. If you found this lesson clarifying, please share it. Lesson 9. Embrace fate without complaint. Imagine again the master surfer, standing on the shore and watching the ocean. He does not know what kind of waves the ocean will send him today. They may be small and weak, or they may be large and powerful. The surfer does not waste a single moment of his energy complaining about the waves. He doesn't shake his fist at the sky and shout, "These waves are unfair. I deserved bigger waves today." To do so would be insane. He accepts the waves as they are, a reality outside of his control. His task is not to command the ocean, but to use his skill to ride whatever wave the ocean chooses to send his way. The inner conflict for us is that we are constantly complaining about the waves of our lives. The painful problem is that complaining is a profound waste of our vital energy. Every moment we spend complaining about a reality we cannot change is a moment we are not spending on adapting to that reality and taking productive action. Complaint and resistance are the ego's futile war against what is. This war is unwinnable, and it is a primary source of our anxiety, frustration, and lack of confidence. It keeps us stuck, focused on what should have been, instead of what we can do right now. The transformative solution is the advanced Stoic habit of embracing fate without complaint. It is the practice of becoming the master surfer who joyfully accepts the waves as they come and focuses all his energy on the art of riding them well. The core idea is the powerful concept of amor fati, a love of one's fate. This is the final step beyond mere acceptance. It is the mindset that says that whatever happens, the good and the bad, is not just to be tolerated, but to be welcomed as a necessary and valuable part of our life's journey. It is the ultimate expression of confidence, a deep trust that you have the strength and resilience to handle whatever life sends your way and to use it for your own growth. The benefit of this is that it eradicates victimhood and resentment from your life. It is impossible to feel like a victim if you are actively embracing everything that happens as part of your chosen path. This leads to a profound, unshakable peace and a powerful sense of agency. The actionable step to cultivate this is the no complaint challenge. The challenge is simple, but not easy. Attempt to go for one full 24-hour period without uttering a single complaint about anything, big or small. This includes complaining about the weather, the traffic, your workload, other people, and your own aches and pains. When you feel the urge to complain, you must catch yourself. Then, consciously replace the complaint with either a simple statement of objective fact, "It is raining," or, for more advanced practice, a statement of gratitude or opportunity. "This traffic jam is a good opportunity to practice my patience," or listen to a podcast. This challenge will reveal how deeply ingrained the habit of complaint is in your mental programming. By consciously resisting it for a day, you will begin to rewire your brain to see solutions instead of problems and opportunities instead of obstacles. I urge you to attempt the no complaint challenge this week. Embrace the waves. This brings us to our final daily habit, the one that ties them all together and ensures continuous growth. Our last lesson is on the power of nightly reflection. Please comment below if you are willing to take on the no complaint challenge. Lesson 10. Reflect nightly on daily actions. Imagine again the master ship's captain, his long and eventful day of sailing now over. The ship is safely anchored in the harbor for the night. Before he sleeps, he performs the most crucial ritual of his day. He sits down in his cabin with the ship's logbook and a quiet lamp. He carefully and honestly reviews the day's voyage. Where did he navigate skillfully? Where did his judgment falter? Did he treat his crew with justice and respect? What lessons did the sea teach him today that will make him a better captain tomorrow? This nightly review is not an act of self-criticism. It is an act of profound self-respect and a commitment to continuous improvement. The inner conflict for us is that we often end our days like an exhausted, thoughtless sailor. We stumble into the harbor, tie up the ship, and collapse into our bunk without a single thought about the day's journey. The painful problem with this lack of reflection is that we fail to learn from our own lives. We make the same mistakes day after day. We repeat the same emotional patterns, and we fail to acknowledge our own small victories and moments of virtue. Without this feedback loop, genuine growth is impossible. Our confidence cannot grow because we're not consciously aware of the progress we are making or the lessons we are learning. An unexamined life, as Socrates said, is not worth living because it is a life that cannot improve. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic habit that the philosopher Seneca considered the most important part of his day: the nightly philosophical review. It is the practice of becoming the wise captain of your own soul, diligently reviewing your logbook to ensure that each day makes you a more skillful navigator of life. The core idea is that self-reflection is the engine of self-improvement. Our experiences themselves do not make us wiser. It is the deliberate reflection on those experiences that creates wisdom. By taking just a few minutes each night to review your actions, judgments, and emotions, you create a powerful feedback loop that allows for rapid and intentional growth. The benefit is that you become the conscious author of your own character. You are no longer just living your life. You are actively shaping it. This practice ensures that you never waste a day. Every experience, good or bad, becomes a valuable lesson that contributes to your growth in confidence, wisdom, and virtue. The actionable step is to create a simple 5-minute evening review based on the questions that Seneca asked himself. Before bed, with your journal, answer these 3 questions. 1. What did I do wrong today? Or where did my character fall short? This builds humility and identifies clear areas for improvement. 2. What did I do right? Or where did I act in accordance with my values? This builds self-respect and reinforces positive actions. 3. Based on this review, what is my primary intention for becoming a slightly better person tomorrow? This creates a path for continuous progress. This simple but profound practice is what binds all the other habits together. It is the quality control for your character. I urge you to begin this 5-minute review tonight. It will be the most valuable 5 minutes of your day. It is the ultimate habit for building a life of unshakable confidence. We have journeyed through the 10 foundational habits of the Stoic path, a daily routine designed to forge an unshakable core of inner peace and profound self-trust. From the morning reset to the nightly reflection, these practices are the bricks and mortar with which you can build an impenetrable fortress of confidence, one deliberate day at a time. Thank you for taking this time to learn how to build a life of strength and purpose. If this video has served you on your journey, please like this video, comment with the one habit you will start today, and subscribe to the Stoic Power channel for more wisdom on building an unconquerable mind.